I had a thing this weekend. I saw against my will a TikTok about some like trendy Queen West thing. Are you aware of the fact that people on Queens West are referring to it as Queens now?
As in like Queen's University almost?
As in Queens, New York?
Jail.
Oh.
They're calling
Jail.
Queen West
Queens?
Jail.
Prison.
Welcome everyone to TTK. This is episode 2. We had a phenomenal first week of this pod. You guys showed so much love and graciousness towards it, and we're happy to be able to serve you this on a weekly basis. This is, of course, our podcast over here at theScore Esports. It's myself. We have Devin and Dimitri on the couch. Devin, how you doing? You're all packed up and ready to go to the major tomorrow.
Yes, I leave the crack of stupid, as my mom would say. So I got to be at the airport at like 4 a.m.
Yeah. Well, like, when's your... I'm not going to ask when your flight, but like, do you do the international flight 3 hours and then domestic flight 2 hours?
No, I do like 2 hours.
Okay.
Like I've, knock on wood, never had an issue where it's just like I've done 3 hours, I've done 2 hours, and it always feels like too long. Like I'm there too early.
Yeah.
Like the longest it's ever taken me at an airport was Amsterdam's airport. Schiphol, if I'm saying that correctly.
You're not.
Schiphol, yeah.
And that but it's because I got pulled aside for
that
swabs.
was the longest.
Yeah.
That's the best airport I've ever been to.
I got pulled aside for
was
swabs,
so
and
nice.
it feels like every single person after me also got pulled aside for swabs. And
Interesting.
Like,
Jeez.
it just took forever. Like every single person was getting checked.
The worst airport I think I've ever been to was
Pearson.
Yeah, the answer actually is Pearson.
The answer
It's
actually
definitively
is Pearson.
Pearson.
Gatwick. Gatwick
Interesting.
sucked. Dimitri, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm illin.
What does that mean?
I'm illin.
Are you ill? Like,
I'm ill, but I'm also doing it in like the present participle. So,
Okay.
yeah, true.
Not sick, feeling great.
Yeah.
Just illin, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's been a busy weekend for us in all of esports. We were talking briefly. I went to do Westfest. It was a good time. Almost died. But yeah, as the Zillennials do nowadays, they do go to do Westfest. They do spend $18 on tater tots for whatever reason. That's actually
Worth
a thing. No.
Okay.
And then, like someone tried to give me like a $9 banh mi that was a half a banh mi. And I don't know if our audience knows what a banh mi is. It's basically a Vietnamese sandwich. It's awesome, but it should not cost $9. That's sacrilege. Either way, it's been a really busy weekend for esports. I was stressed because like there is legitimately so much to cover. There was Apex. Of course, we had Counter-Strike. We had Valorant. We had League of Legends, LEC wrapped off spring. We had Smash. We had Tipped Off. Shoutouts Cody. It was an insane weekend of esports. And even, of course, we had the 1v1 championship for Rocket League. So that was an insane
Might not have time for that last one.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, it was actually a great time. I think you guys should get into it.
Yeah, I just wanted to like start off quickly, just like saying how awful it is to like have this many things at the same time.
It sucks.
Like, how do you pay attention to anything?
Well, it's impossible because there's too many things like dividing your attention. And the worst thing is too is like we have an event for Valorant in our own backyard.
Yeah.
That, you know, at least for my sake, I haven't been able to put the time towards watching it as much as I wanted to. You know, I was going to use this as one of my jumping offs to like fully like sink my teeth back into Valorant again. And unfortunately just like hasn't it's been
So
tough
much.
because I'm going to the Austin Major.
Yeah.
I need to be focusing 100% of my
Exactly.
attention to this. But
It's also the results have been fucking crazy.
No, exactly. That's the thing too. It's like every fucking thing that's happened, like these people that I have like plans to talk to might not even be there by the time I wheels down.
Yeah, well, it's also like this was. I mean, what was the Mondesi quote where he was like, "Just start the major already," and like everybody was sort of had this sentiment of like stage one was like not a nothing stage.
Yeah, they're
it's
saying it was like
well,
CCT.
It's a little bit of a
like-
Mickey Mouse stage.
yeah.
Like it's a little bit, and then of course, speaking of Mondesi, right? Like, and then of course it kind of just went like
Off the rails.
balls to the wall. And
Yeah.
so now it's just like there's every reason to watch
Yeah.
these stages, right?
Yeah.
Stage 1 and 2, and like it's just like yeah, I was gonna use it as a chance too to like sort of watch other stuff and then wait until the major started in earnest before I went all in. But now it seems like we are
there's no
currently beholding the most
Yeah.
exciting parts of the major,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, I mean, like we can go down the list. It's crazy. The last thing I'll say on this is like I don't know if it's specifically like it is like a. I doubt that there was any sort of malicious or like gaming this between Ride and Blast. Like I don't think any of that existed because I don't think it does any of either of them. Like it doesn't help either of them by having these literally run at the exact same time. And the North American players that used to play Counter-Strike that are now in Valorant that would have gone to this major most likely, you know, to say hi and say what's up and watch, you know, at least the grand finals or the playoffs that aren't able to because they're like, you know, like someone like Tarek, for example, right? Like, I could imagine in my head Tarek being at the major because why wouldn't he, right?
He was co-streaming some of it.
Yeah, but then like he also is like beholden to Valorant, right?
Yeah,
so
it's his game now.
It's his game now. So it's just like it's not helping anybody, and I hope that they just don't run it like. I don't know. I doubt there's any communication. I doubt this was done maliciously or any gaming to it. But it just sucks that it turns out like this.
I don't think so.
They like, you know, I like the Blast guys. It's just they each have their own separate calendar and they go based off,
for
like,
sure,
especially for events. I will say that it is going to be really interesting to see like viewership.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
like that's where we're going to get the Valorant versus Counter-Strike stuff. It's going to be really fun.
You know what I think I should do? I think they should 1v1 in Rocket League.
Yeah,
I think they actually should. I think that'd be, you know, but they might get smoked by Diaz, who did win the NA 1v1 anyway. So along with that, of course, also I'd like to mention I went to go see a show. Dub Vision was who it was. And got to watch someone had their phone up and I watched the Oilers get smoked at the club. It was great. So that was also going on.
I don't
at
think
the same
double
time.
overtime.
I don't. Yeah,
get smoked. First of all,
You got
also
smoked.
after that blown fucking call, I was so mad.
You got
at that.
smoked by Marchand. Dude, come on.
it's tough.
That
Too
third
many
line,
ice
bro,
call, bro,
is so scary. Either way, let's get into this major. It has been, as we say, off the rails. It has been legitimately bonkers. There's been so many storylines that have gone through. We're gonna touch on a couple of them. I'm gonna talk briefly first. We'll get into like stage 2, but I want to talk about North America.
Not much of us left.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Complexity and Wildcard, if you count Wildcard, just both get absolutely battered. Like
Wildcard went up 2-0 and then absolutely threw it
through the pooch.
Yeah, just like no momentum in a best of 3 whatsoever. I think they won 1 map in the three chances they had.
I remember a time where North America, it didn't matter if it was our second or third team, could confidently beat like a Tyloo or like most just, you know, regular quals kind of coming in from Europe or whatever,
major
and be
farmers,
able to do damage and like actually make it through. Now we're literally not making it to stage 2.
No, it's heartbreaking. Complexity too. Like it sucks. Like and like I said, like we still have some semblance of representation left, but I mean it just goes like ever since it feels like the pandemic, like a year into the pandemic, it feels like Brazil is just like continues.
But also, like, did any of you actually think, any of us,
no,
that they were going to beat like Tyloo?
No,
I didn't expect them to go to.
It's just it's hard to watch, right?
Oh,
it
sucks.
It's watching a
but
train wreck happen in real time where you're like, you're hopeful, you want something to happen, and yes, we still have liquid, whatever, but like you want something to happen and to see it all fall apart just as if it's fucking Final Destination. It just sucks. It just sucks to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, Liquid are just not an NA team. Like, they're just not. The only thing that makes them NA is they are 2/5 genetically North American, right? But like, that's a weird thing to say.
Genetically.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was weird. That was
they're
weird.
Canadian.
I said that and I was like, that's weird. They are geographically North American, right?
Canadian.
And like, they're Canadian. Yep. And like, I other than that, there is like nothing.
Twist has a European accent.
Brother, he talks with a European accent. I'm not the only one who's noticed.
No. It's like nondescript, like like international like man of mystery
It's
accent.
like, you know what it's like? It's the Toronto accent, but
Yeah.
like when you move to Germany and you're from Kelowna or whatever.
Yeah, like he comes back to Canada and then he slowly loses it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he leaves,
he
it
goes
comes
back and he's like, yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's sick.
But
I'm into it.
my only question is, because like this is like how many times now we're just like continuously been disappointed. What does North America do to really fix itself, to get something going? Because it's not as I don't want to say it's not as if we don't have the talent pool. Like
No,
a
I just
lot of
don't-
North America still plays Counter-Strike, right?
I think
We're
it's-
still doing well in Valorant, right?
I
But
think we mentioned it like last week as well, and we talk about it all the time. Like, there's just no incentive for someone from North America to pursue playing Counter-Strike versus, oh, I'm just going to be a streamer, or I'm going to, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, why would I like? First off, all you hear about is how there's not enough infrastructure and there's not enough money anymore in Counter-Strike. So that's probably talking in your ear, being like, well, I mean, I could go to school and actually, focus on getting, a quote unquote real job and a degree, which is going to take time away from playing for you to get to the level of these international players, right? Like, you're not going to be as good as the worst player on a tier 2 team in Europe if you're not fully dedicated to this game. But there just isn't that academy system. There isn't that drive. And there's all these people saying, oh, there's no infrastructure. There's no money anymore. There's no incentive for people to actually dive and fully dedicate their life to playing.
I think that we've just reached a point where like the simple answer is just there can be North American players, but like, I mean, it's like growing up in Toronto, right? And being like, or Houston, and being like, I want to play for like Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Like you could, but like you're moving to your, you know what I mean? Like you will.
It's Alphonso Davies,
Well,
right?
let's
Like,
bring up
literally,
the-
like
let's just
you're
bring up the
moving
results on
to,
the
right?
TV
Like
too.
this is what's going to happen in CS. Like you're going to have players who are
Yeah.
like, I'm cracked, I'm nuts, maybe I could be the next donk, but the infrastructure here absolutely does not exist. And like they're just going to have to move to Europe, and they're going to have, and the incentive to do that is it's such a risk. It's so
You know
like-
what it kind of reminds me of, actually? It's actually so close, funny enough, to the Formula 1 problem. Like why we don't have North American drivers in Formula 1, despite the fact that North America is like the most driving country and region in the world. It is like by per capita, like the most amount of drivers that you'll see. We don't have as many, unless you're Lance Stroll. You don't have as many drivers in Formula 1 because, one, the development system isn't there. Two, the options to go into other things is so much more enticing, because the development, if you're a driver, you're probably making your way up to either A, NASCAR, or B, Indy, right? That's the only other like open wheel options. And if you're going anywhere else, it's usually because like you're falling out and you're either going to Rally or GT3. And I know I'm getting really in the fucking weeds here of racing, and I'm sorry, but it is actually very analogous, because North America has suffered in these realms for so long. And just like in Counter-Strike, there's just so many other options of things to do. Why would you put 20,000 hours into trying to compete with fucking tier 2 Ukrainians? Meanwhile, you can't make a dime yourself.
But that's the thing that I want to make clear, is that like I don't want to be like doomer and negative about it, because I think there is something actually like honorable if you try to pursue it.
I agree.
And the guys that are still trying to
I
pursue it,
totally
and the
agree.
women that are still trying to pursue it.
Totally
Like,
agree. Yep.
it's like to do it against the odds, because one day it's going to work. If this game remains around, or more games pop up, like the same way that we saw success in, like this region saw success in Valorant, like we will, as long as there is the money and the infrastructure. But right now with Counter-Strike, to be the best in the world, you need to fully dedicate your life to playing this game offline, off stream, just straight up grinding.
You gotta grind, dude.
And on top of that, if you want your best chances of being on a team that can help carry you and support you, that is in Europe. Not to say it's not possible, and for those still trying, respect. But yeah, just right now, it's not coming together the way that it once did for during the heyday back in the mid.
I don't know, man. Let's not talk about it
or
anymore.
mid
Not just
2010s.
because it's depressing, but because like I just don't feel like there's even really any like we have one team,
Yeah.
two teams.
Yeah,
I'm not
two-
counting Liquid.
yeah,
I'm not
two-
counting Liquid
two
because they get
players.
to be their own.
Oh, right
thing.
now M80. So only one team, left.
Yes. I
So-
thought it was two. You're right. Yeah.
And I don't know what's
And
going
even
to happen.
M80 like still has 2 Germans on it. It's like, I mean, we have mixes, which is fine,
I
right?
don't know,
Like
man.
that's
Let's
cool.
just
but,
honestly, if we're going to talk about Counter-Strike at the highest level and we're going to talk about the major, we have to recuse ourselves as North Americans, and we shouldn't
Yeah.
be talking
Yep,
about this
yep,
region. I mean,
exactly,
it's just
exactly.
ridiculous.
It's
Like,
just-
No,
and
that's fair.
no disrespect to these players. Like,
Yeah.
like you just said, like I honestly have the most respect. I think it's really, really honorable.
it's so hard.
It's very fucking hard. But the reality is like it's just if we are in the middle of the second stage of a major, and if we're talking about the major we got to not talk about. We shouldn't be talking about this region because it's just not like yeah.
So to jump off that, I think like the craziest thing, obviously, to talk about right now is Legacy.
Yeah.
Like coming-
That's the craziest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, of course, moving on from the North American CSA, I gotta intro these topics.
No,
man,
you
okay?
don't.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
don't.
do.
No,
I do.
you
I do.
don't.
I do.
Come
Okay,
on.
it's for me. Okay,
Okay,
I'm the one
fine.
editing this. Okay, but past stage 1, of course, yes, we still have some hopeful players in the mix, right? But we got to talk about stage 2 because this is where things get
Spicy.
a little bit fucking crazy, a little bit to say the least. Of course, Legacy making it 3-0 over MIBR and FaZe and 3D Max.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing.
I mean,
like,
I'll be honest. Like that's a pretty easy.
like here's the thing. Yeah, like your path to success, not that bad. But 2-0ing FaZe.
Oh, I agree. I'm just
is
saying,
hats off.
if you had to 3-0 teams in this stage, I think MIBR, 3D, FaZe,
Yeah.
we've seen some pretty nice plays from FaZe at this point. Some nice glow ups. Like they're 2-1. They look
Yeah.
really good. But I will say, like, you know what I mean? They could have had some harder teams.
Yeah, and
You know what this actually reminds me of, and I don't want to be too hopeful just yet, but it does give me the very old, like when was it the Katowice major or whatever that happened, like the first iteration of Fallen's team that came in with Cold and everyone that got Flusha flew them in or whatever,
Yeah.
and they just
Mhm.
impressed everybody. I'm getting like flashes of that because they're so hyped, man. They weren't even supposed to be here. Everyone is
That's
like
the-
super happy
yeah.
about
I
it.
know.
so for those that don't remember or didn't see, Legacy are the team that were stepping in for Beastia because Beastia weren't able to get their visas sorted out. That caused a whole issue. Not going to really speak on it anymore, other than the fact that it seems like they wanted to seek legal action. But for what it's worth, Legacy were supported, also given some face backlash for accepting
Yeah.
the
I
to take the
Yeah,
place,
I mean,
which is
like,
ridiculous
yeah,
because
it's
like what are you
absurd,
going
man.
to do?
What are you
Like,
supposed
what are
to
you
do?
gonna
Say
do?
no?
But
No
to
thanks.
do that and to come in as a substitute
Oh yeah.
and then
It's
3-0
so
to make
impressive.
it out of the first round and then be the first team
To 3-0.
to 3-0.
Yeah. And they were first. They were.
I
ahead
think
of
I
first
think they
row,
beat
right?
VP. Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
way, either way,
Regardless,
either way,
it doesn't matter. It's probably the
And
same
to end
day.
your 3-0 on a phase 2-0 on a phase
Yeah.
is on a double dip on phase is
Yeah, you got
absolutely
Simple telling
crazy.
you to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like,
so
no,
good, bro.
not happening.
It's
I
so good.
do have that clip, by the way, because I do want to.
Oh, it's so good.
Bring
It
it
was
up.
really funny.
It's so funny.
I think the funniest thing about that clip was not him doing it. The funniest thing about that clip was how
Let's bring up.
they just stopped. Like
Yeah.
like Legacy literally just like watch like
Carrigan left in the clutch and Dumau denies it. 4 kills to Dumau. Okay, he's got a reason to shout.
you know what? Yeah, you know what?
Leaves laughing.
You know what the funny thing about
I
this?
think is the fact that they were just quiet. Like
Yeah.
they just go quiet after they was like, oh the goats.
Yeah.
We
two owe them.
We two owe them, but like yeah,
Gonna make him mad. But
we-
but the funny thing is, it's like, that like Simple telling him to shut up is like, okay, we got to do something, guys. Like they're kind of screaming at us.
Yeah.
Shut up!
Yeah,
you know, there's the one. It gives me the vibes. It's my favorite thing ever. Was an old. By old, I mean like 2 years ago, whatever. Like Navi Astralis, and it was like the Blame F device Astralis, whatever. I think, and it was this thing where they were doing the thing where they were like hurling, like stop baiting. Like,
Yeah.
what did you think was it? And you could hear in the booth, and then literally like over all of it, you just hear Simple go, "You fucking suck," and literally all 9 of them, like Astralis included,
Yeah.
just start laughing,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they start chuckling, like it was just
Wait,
so.
I
funny.
gotta find that.
He's
clip.
so good at that.
I
He's
gotta
so
find
good
that
at just
clip.
like giving the last word,
Well, it's like I wonder also if it's just like it's more of the like, listen, like you can't tell me to shut the or like you can't try to style on me.
yeah.
Even if you beat me,
Even if
like
you
you're
beat
not
me,
at that level
you're not
yet.
actually-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, where
come
do I
on,
find
like-
that clip? Crap.
It was so good, bro.
But are you not
So
going to take the opportunity to? I also
Oh,
love
absolutely.
in that clip that you notice that. I mean, I'm sure it's done for a multitude of reasons, but Simple and Elysia are
Crap, I
sitting
can't
on
find it.
opposite sides of each other.
That's gotta
Yeah.
just be positional.
Yeah, I'm
right?
assuming
There's
it's just
no
positional.
I think they're
way.
playing it for memes for sure.
It's no,
like-
I don't think it's
No,
memes.
I think-
it's
I think that-
100% when they sit down. I think there's just a like. It depends on position. Like
Yeah.
you want teams across all these sports, like across all
Mhm.
FPS, right? Right. It's very conscious about like having the IGL in the middle or like having the.
Well, even
the
though you're
opera
speaking on,
the-
even though you're
like,
speaking through voice comms,
It's
but
screens.
it's the screens,
the
and it's
screens.
also
Yeah.
having the physical presence of the person
Yes,
beside you
yes.
saying, "Hey, hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey."
I
hey."
think that there's the conscious thing where people have they're comfortable with certain like
Yeah.
orderings. I think that's it. I
But
think
that doesn't
that's-
make it not funny.
Oh, it's
Well,
fine.
if I was
It's
on a
fine.
team and I was IGL, I would want to be on the end, and then like have like a kind of like cascading thing, where like I turn and everyone faces me.
Yeah, I
and,
think
like,
if I was
looks down the
IGL,
line.
if I was IGL, I'd have to be the middle because I always want guaranteed fist bumps on land.
Oh,
I'm
right,
a big
right, right.
fist bumps on land guy. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I want those like now you got to reach over and you got to get all four of them. Like I'm into that.
I'd go for whoever's the least smelliest. Unironically,
You would say that as a melee player.
I
We don't really deal with that.
That
in
is- yeah,
Counter-Strike,
that is
though.
no. I don't know how many esports jerseys you've worn, but dude, those things get fucking stanky.
Brother, have you-
Okay.
You were at the last Launders Land,
Yeah.
Yeah.
walking between
Oh yeah.
those two groups of people
Yeah.
was like getting hit with a fucking elementary school stink bomb.
Yeah,
I-
it was.
I smelt more people. I love you, Launders, but I smelt more people at the Launders Land of the Counter-Strike players than I did the melee players.
no.
I
that's,
did.
Not possible.
That's absolutely
Nope.
manifestly
I'm telling you,
false.
man.
No.
Hand to God,
That's false.
absolutely did.
Absolutely false.
No, dude, I'm telling you, it was bad dude, because they don't.
I went in there. It was like when you go to the science center, you put your hand on the ball and your hair stands up. As soon as I cross over,
But
Yeah.
it's like, dude, they it's just these esports jerseys. They don't deal with
Brother,
smell
it's
well.
not the jersey.
It's not the
fucking
jersey.
no, they
Let's be
fucking
honest,
stink,
dude.
bro. It's
Can
how it
we
is.
talk? Can we do it now? Because I think Legacy is not the most surprising thing to happen at this major.
Lynn.
No. Can we talk about Falcons?
Well,
So-
same shit, but yeah.
it was.
I mean,
it was
They
so
got
funny.
battered, bro, dude.
Like me watching them like just fully fucking just bomb the first day. I'm like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
of course you did. I think they were. I don't know if it got confirmed, but I think they were saying the worst. Like, Monacy has never had a string of worst games in a row.
0.7 rating?
Yeah.
What was it? 0.7
It's like
rating?
0.7 and then point like 8.1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's better now. It's point.
Well, it's better now, but then he went and then he immediately
Bring
goes
us
into the
a-
next
it's a thing,
fucking
yeah,
game
I got
and
it.
they throw a 9-3 lead.
I know.
And then they almost do it again
Yeah.
on
No.
map 2.
It was.
So we
bad.
should clarify for the listeners. We are recording this on Monday noon, like EST. So
Yeah.
Falcons are currently 1-2.
Yes.
They are about to play their fourth match, which we have not seen as of this recording.
Yes.
That has not
So
happened. So
by the
we are
end-
speaking as Falcons are 1-2.
By the end of this recording, MIBR and Falcons will be playing.
Yeah.
But I got what is it? Munacy's matches on HLTV in a sec. But first off, shout outs to OG for actually giving him a bit of a run. Nikodas, that kid is incredible.
That clutch was
Nico
insane.
Dos.
insane.
I reacted
He's
to it this
so
morning.
good.
Yeah.
This has been Munacy's string of matches, dude. Yeah, they made it through against OG. Listen, OG, I love him. I used to work with him. But unfortunately, they've had a rough road in Counter-Strike generally altogether. But this has been a very rough road for Falcons. They have not done well against really teams like you would expect. Like Lin Vision came out of nowhere and is just continuing to dust people and have some of the most love. Like Emilia is fucking awesome. We're coming to find out. I have a bunch of clips I want to show you guys later, but Emilia, who is on Lin Vision, is amazing. It's just, and I know Munacy isn't the only one on this. Like it's clearly just a structure thing. They're having a hard time dealing with these real kind of qual teams, but you're the second best team in the world, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it came down to like he literally just was missing his shots.
Yeah, I know.
And that's just like when you're an opper, that's like, well, it goes for everyone in Counter-Strike, but like,
no. When you're an opera, you have to.
You have
like,
to.
but
That's the
it goes
one-
back to like the fact that like this is a game about pointing and shooting. You know, we always like, you know, we always harken back to the day Astralis changed Counter-Strike and be like, no, this is the way you're supposed to play. But at the end of the day, you had to hit people in the head or the chest.
Yeah.
And
If you're Astralis, the
yeah.
chest, yeah.
And they just weren't. He just was missing everything. And there was actually a really funny clip on Nuke where like he missed like fucking like 3 shots. Like he was playing on ramp. He was hiding behind boxes on ramp, and he missed like 3 shots, but then somehow managed to like reload and then kill get like a 4K. And they're like, that would have been really sick. I think it was Launders and Scrawny were casting that game. They're like, that would have been sick if you just don't include the first part of that.
Yeah,
like,
if you literally just
that will be a score video.
When he shadow played that and put it on Twitter,
Yeah,
he cut the first,
yeah. I'm like, when the score esports inevitably adds that to a Monacy montage, it will be after that that part.
Did they say that?
Huh?
Did they say that?
No, I said that.
You said that. Okay, yeah. No, I think that this is the thing too. I remember. So there's 2 things I have to say about this. One is that the thing about Monacy specifically is that he is one of 2 oppers in this game who has been able consistently to hit his shots in CS2.
Yeah.
We've seen some like oppers. I mean, there's a couple, Brokey, Shiro, even like oppers who you look at and you say, bro, he hits that in Go 10 times out of 10, 9 times. And like, there's just, and again, I'm only, to be clear, I'm not blaming the game because I think I'm blaming the game because it's this like uncanny thing where like Shiro's holding a temple angle and a guy just runs out and he misses. And I'm just like, it happens 3-4 times in the span of a month. And you're like, how the, like what other explanation could there be? Right? Like what has changed? What is going on? Why are these really good oppers between Go and 2 having these hiccups? Monacy, for the longest time in this game, has been the player that we've said has it's like the transition never happened.
Yeah.
He is just 2 for him. He's maximized the opping. He knows how to op in this game. He's the best opper. The other one is Zywoo, obviously. Zywoo.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. So that's the first one I'm gonna see. The second thing is, to this point, I remember interviewing Smooya a couple years ago, and he was talking about, he was teamless at the time, still trying to like get, and he was talking about opping, and he was joking about like how like if you're opping for a team and you don't drop 25, even when you lose, he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, you have the point and click deletion tool.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, this is like, you're opping. Like,
you should be getting a pick. Like,
you should be getting a pick every round. Like, even if you immediately get traded, even if the site gets, even if your team is just getting absolutely fisted.
I got a clip of just like,
right? Like,
you know,
you need to be getting kills. Like, they're free kills with the op, right? Like, what the fuck are you like? So and it's a good point. It stuck with it because like he's right to some degree, obviously, which is like if you're opping and you're like not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really hitting shots, or you're not really getting so many kills, or you have a negative whatever. Like, there is a sense in which you don't really have an excuse, and like that's why when it's not just Monacy.
No,
I agree,
sure.
But when you got the big green,
I think it's your role.
There's your role.
I think it is
like,
I think it is mostly Monacy.
You need to be hitting shots.
Because here's the thing, like, Nico wasn't playing, like, wasn't particularly lights out or anything like that, but like, it just goes to show that this team can't win without Monacy.
Yeah.
More than anything, right? Like, which is such a tough position to be in, where just like, fuck, you're so good, like, you need to be
I want to
dialed in for your team to win.
It's a good point, and people have been saying it for months.
Oh yeah,
derisively. But there is this sense in which, like, it's obviously.
I think there was a question mark that because they went, like, their first win was right before he got signed, and a lot of that was a testament to how much, effort Dexter put into that performance and how much he cared.
Dude.
And the fact that the team was able to support him, and what a way to just end your time on a team, is really, really, really cool and underrated moment this year, I think. But I think there was maybe a little bit of a thought that, oh, maybe this team actually does have what it takes, and now they're just gonna be better with Monacy.
Yeah,
which is what it felt like. But but then when he doesn't show up, it's like, where is this team?
But maybe that's the problem, is because they are better.
Nico's doing great. By the way, Nico still has like a 1.2.
No, absolutely.
He's
but
actually kind of carrying the team right now, which is very funny.
But even his carries, unless he does something truly spectacular,
like, he can only do so much, right? As a rifler, kind of on this team, like, you need like especially in CS2 now, like, while everyone, like you mentioned, is kind of crap with the op, like, you need at least your big green to show up to at least be able, especially if you're on CT side on Nuke, like, you need to be able to hold your sights, right? You need to be able to hold out and whatnot. So I think like, yeah, it is a shame to see because they're not out yet, right? They were able to take
They
the
could
best-
fully bounce back.
you
Just
know,
to be clear, I think they
will.
bounce back.
You think they move on?
God is good. He's not that good that they will get knocked out in stage
Yeah.
2. Like that would be chef's kiss if
That-
they got
yeah.
knocked out in stage 2. We're not that lucky.
No,
There's no fucking way.
we still have a full stage, right? And frankly, like my experience in Rocket League, this happens to a lot of teams where like Swiss is just kind of like this. Like,
Do you know who went down 2-0?
0-2?
0-2 in
C9,
C9
baby.
did.
C9.
would be a much different situation. It's not like, oh my god, the underdogs,
I know,
Falcons.
yeah.
Wow,
That's
yeah.
There's that story too, the famous story that they told later where Olaf walked over to them after they went down 0-2. And he said they were so dejected. That's
Yeah.
the way I think it was Soham who told me the story. He said like they were so dejected. And Olaf walked over and he was like, you guys are better than this. You should not be 0-2. Like seriously,
Yeah.
sincerely. He's like, you guys are really good. Like, don't get down on yourselves. Like, whatever. Little did he know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that clip in the documentary too. Is like, yeah, just give me phase. Give me fucking Tim's like, give me phase, man.
Yeah.
Give me phase. But I will say that the best thing to come out of this major so far, I think, obviously the upsets have been crazy, but Emilia,
Yeah,
has
he's been great.
he's been so good. I got an interview loaded up from what he
I think when he's talking to the Brazilian
I
outlets.
think so,
Yeah, I
yeah.
forget
And
their
it's like
names.
this
So
has just
sorry.
been chef's kiss content throughout the course of this.
They're really doubting
Oh,
themselves a lot.
sorry, that's
I can understand why.
Falcons. Oops.
I can't speak slow.
Leader us. Come on, my friend. Leader middle. Congratulations.
What a fucking handshake.
Yes, bro.
Thank you.
Only one round I don't like. What? When you did the ninja defuse against Brazilians in the nukes. But I forgive you, okay? Because you qualified now, my friend.
Thank you.
What are you feeling?
Good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm BT.
PT.
He's Liminha.
From Brazil.
You, Emilia.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice to meet you. We are brother. Yeah.
You are brother now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just
No notes. 0 notes.
Yeah.
Zero.
Cinema.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like
He also kissed
I
Modesty
saw this.
Sand
He kissed Munison's hand.
after the match.
he's trying to steal some of like
Yeah,
the.
he did. That's what happened. Yeah.
He's like, give me your upgrade. Okay, maybe not that much.
That's so funny.
Zonic looking like, dude. Zonic he's fucking shook.
I also
bro.
just love that they just got like shown up by Lin Vision, and Modesty can't help but just smile.
I know.
Like
But Sonic they just got fucking
Sonic, like he just came out of a war zone, brother.
Yeah.
I reacted to it a while ago. The one of Blade when the cameras cut to him after Navi threw that like 2v4, and he just like puts his head on his hands and he like leans against the backstage. And Blade
Yeah.
always looks like Ben Affleck with the fucking
With a
cigarette and the
cigarette standing
Duncan. Like
outside
that's
his house.
Blade after every throw round. And I feel like Zonic is now doing that thing where he's like, I gotta channel the Blade energy.
Yeah. This was just I had to. This was on Reddit. I know Reddit, but like this was so funny. This was a clip from HLTV, the forum. Sources say Munisy and Nico's relationship is falling apart after Munisy caught Nico queuing Face It with Kyusuke. Munisy didn't return to their shared hotel room and was later seen in a McDonald's counting fries and mumbling, love me not," all night. That might explain why his performance dipped yesterday. I believe
all
it.
here for the
HLTV confirmed, dude.
I'm
Um,
here for the like Munisy Nico fucking fan fiction.
Yeah.
What's the term? I don't think
Yeah,
I can
fan
say-
fiction.
I don't think it's
Fanfic.
no. On the podcast, the Japanese term for like the
Yaoi?
boy romance.
Yeah, yaoi.
yeah, that's the
yeah.
one. I'm here
Boy
for it.
love.
Yeah.
I'm here. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Dude, let's do it.
Someone, I think was it at Dallas or Melbourne? Someone had like
Someone had an anime.
drew the-
Oh
I
my
got
god, I
them
that.
remember
kissing each
that.
other.
Yes.
that shit rules.
And
But
people were it rules because people were also joking. They were being like, I'm sure the Falcons love that. I'm
yeah,
I'm sure the Falcons.
Oh, yeah, they're
Org
they're
loves
big up
that.
on.
They're huge on that.
yeah. I've heard.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
It is funny though how like stage 2, I feel like always delivers in this way where it's just like you have people like Amelia who are there just like on cloud nine,
Just
and then you have Zonic who's just like is just constantly the CS:GO flashbang sound in his ears every time he walks out of a fucking room or out of a best of three.
Somebody get that man a cigarette, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and a
Someone-
fucking DC.
So that's the thing. It's just that you have Falcons like on the ropes, but then you have like, oh my god, Legacy, Lin Vision, Tyloo, like these teams are doing well.
this is
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then,
honestly, I don't know. I mean, do you think it's better or worse? Let's just have the honest conversation, jokes aside. Is it better or worse if Falcons get eliminated in stage 2?
Worse for me. I don't want him to be gone by the time I get there.
oh yeah, you're trying to do
though.
interviews.
I'm
with
trying to
them.
talk to these people, and I know like a lot of people might stay, but like,
It would be so funny, but I mean, is it good? No, because like, let's say, what happens? So let's say Falcons get knocked out stage 2.
mhm.
I'm not saying this will happen. I'm not discounting every other glow up performance, but there's obviously a very real chance that if Falcons get knocked out stage 2, Vita do the CATA 19 London Major
Yeah.
18 thing, and they just go
Rinse.
free major.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's a free major, and they just and that would suck. That would not be
Yeah.
a fun stage 3, right?
Yeah.
That would be not
For-
enjoyable.
For Counter-Strike's sake,
Yes.
we want Falcons to make
want the
it to
most
at least
competitive
champion
teams.
I
stage.
want the most
Yes.
competitive teams in stage 3.
yeah,
And of course, there's an argument that if they lose in stage 2, they
Then they
not
weren't-
the most
yeah, they weren't
competitive
ready
team.
anyway,
But if they
but-
just are choke artists and they just literally
Yeah.
like, then that's not fun for anybody.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
We would like to see them at least like. I think they'll make it through. I think they'll turn it around. But I will say, if they don't, I mean, I think it is going to be.
unless Donk just proves himself as like a major farmer.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I just don't think
It
it's
would be
happening.
not
really
gonna
funny though.
happen.
It
I
would be
have
really
funny.
It would be
Seen-
funny.
I have seen actually, like in our comments and stuff, like a lot of copium that like, oh, Vitality only won Dallas because Spirit didn't show up. Like this like CIS
Spirit did
copium
like,
of like
skip out on 2 tournaments, I think.
Spirit
so.
just wasn't there. Vitality's not actually that good. Like
I want to take every one of those Reddit comments and I want to CF them to all of the liquid comments from 2019. This is European copium around. The only
All
reason
right.
Liquid had their mini era is because Astralis didn't
it's
play.
just
in
Astralis just
those
wasn't
tournaments.
there. Even though they beat Astralis in the tournament, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. I mean, you're gonna be there. Just want to preface this, like, Devin's gonna be there at the major. He's flying out tomorrow. Next week, he's gonna be calling in from the major just to briefly kind of chat with us.
Mhm.
Anything you like looking forward to the most? Briefly.
Yeah, I mean, like, there is something just like really fun about the experience. Like everyone, I don't know how it's gonna be. I've only been to one other major, and it was in Copenhagen, and just like being able to see how, even whether or not people recognize our outlet or they don't, like just seeing how excited everyone is, like the people in their jerseys, the Golden Hornets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As annoying as they might be,
Blue Wall's worse.
yeah, like the Brazilian fans are like always crazy when they came and they showed out for FaZe, to the point where like they got literally like kicked out at Copenhagen was like so fun. So seeing all that and everyone come together for Counter-Strike is great. And also I feel like Austin, I've never been to Austin, but I feel like it's probably a great
Yeah,
city to host a tournament.
I will ask if you see a CS2 coffee mug, please give me one.
I
Thanks.
will see if it fits in my carry-on.
I will very much appreciate it because my last one, my CS:GO
your
coffee
CS:GO
mug
It was
Bro,
from the last office got fucking stolen.
No.
someone 100% has that in
That
their
I
cabinet.
bought at the Boston Major as a commemorative mug, along with some other things, was fucking stolen. Okay,
That mug is actually iconic. Like
There's-
every
okay,
day in
listen,
King
it
Street,
is the
Sebastien
blue,
drank coffee.
blue CS mug
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the gold inner.
There is an outside chance that
Fucking-
during the quarantine, like it got knocked over, it got thrown out. It is so I would say that there's like a 15% chance that happened.
I would say there's a 3% chance you knocked it over.
No. There was a
He
period
did
of time.
break a glass.
There
or
was a
something.
period of time where I was the only one in that office because I didn't have AC where I lived,
Oh,
and
true.
it was when they first opened up and said, "Hey, you can book at a desk," and
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
booked at a desk, and I'm like, "There's nobody here."
Yeah.
But it has AC, so I used to be the only one that went in. Because I remember him asking, and I actually like, because I was like the first person to go back, I like gave a look around. I'm like, I don't see it anywhere. I'm like, I couldn't even tell whose desks was who.
Yeah.
There was like some sticky notes like making fun of each other on like
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that era of the score, so I didn't really like.
If I walked back into that office, bro, and I went back to those desks and I looked at those sticky notes, I would
You're
actually.
just touching like. The stories these walls would
I
tell.
would, I would weep.
Good times at the old
Um,
office. But yeah, my fucking mug.
I know. So there's 15% chance that it just something happened and it broke. Cleaner broke it or something happened.
I would cry.
Did they?
uh,
do you think they just like took it down and they replaced it with a CS2 mug? Like they pulled it off.
you think it's right there now?
And it's actually just
No, I think
become a CS2 mug.
someone stole it because Wetzlar still says like someone attempted to like take his Overwatch mug.
I remember he had an Overwatch
And
mug.
so I'm fully convinced that some dude just
So,
fucking
yeah,
stole it.
Someone
it's
came
possible-
in esports and lifted the esport mugs.
Yeah, it's possible. I think there's like maybe like a 40% chance that like someone just randomly that works for the company took it. I think there's not an outside chance that someone at theScore esports took it and is not responding to you.
Oh shit!
It's Bernard. It's fucking Bernard.
Would have
absolutely.
Bernard gone to the office?
Okay. Let's move on here.
No. What do you? This is
Yeah, what are you
we're
talking
Nancy
about?
Drewing. This is
No.
going on.
What if it's someone who doesn't? What if it's someone who's not?
Doesn't work here
doesn't
anymore.
work here anymore? I just.
I
legitimately
legitimately think it is most realistic. It probably got misplaced, or you took it and you misplaced it yourself.
No,
Now
I
I'm
absolutely
gaslighting
I
you.
don't think
not.
that's what
No,
it was.
no, because I adored that mug. Like
Yeah, he
that
did.
was the Boston Major mug, and I will go on eBay and try and find another one. But in the meantime, we also have another event that's actually happening locally. We have a Valorant Major tournament happening here.
Yep.
Masters Toronto is happening here. It was cool because I went to Dub Vision and I literally walked through Exhibition Place
Mhm.
because I live actually I'm not doxing myself, but I live very close to the venue that it's being held at. And it was so cool just seeing all the signs like Valorant
Yeah.
Masters Toronto, all this cool shit. I haven't gone to the venue yet. I didn't get to go over the weekend because, I
The
was
Sen is playing as we speak, actually.
the Sentinels playing as we speak.
As we speak, yeah.
Okay, sweet. So, we literally have games that are happening now. It's been a pretty interesting tournament thus far. Of course, I think the big story that everyone's looking at is Nats was able to actually make it through. So
Oh,
Nats,
was he actually?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw that he was. Yeah.
so
That's
Nats was able to make it through. He of course was dealing with visa issues, which is kind of surprising because Canada normally doesn't have too many.
Well,
visa
someone,
issues.
I apologize if I'm misrepresenting and they rage baited me too good, but like someone was commenting on like the Beastia situation, and then a lot of people, like a lot of I guess South Americans, were saying like, oh, it's because it's America specifically during
Yeah.
this time. If it was something like Canada, we wouldn't have this big of an issue. And then Nats posted that he was having visa issues and might miss the first game. I think was all he said he might
Yeah.
end up missing. And then that person like quote tweeted, and once again they could have been just rage baiting me. We're
Probably.
like, see, like people say to put it in Canada, but it's just as hard. I'm like, that's one fucking player.
It's
Yeah.
one player.
For also one game.
Yes.
Or roughly, right? Like we're
Meanwhile,
talking about it.
we literally
Anyway.
have like a COD, champs coming later, and we've had so many COD and Overwatch tournaments. And
That's
none
awesome.
They
of them-
moved it to. I'll say this: they moved TI. They never said this explicitly. This is why they did it, but this is why they did it. In 2018,
TI.
Valve moved it after being in Seattle for.
since TI1.
No, TI1 was in Germany.
Or-
I'm trying to remember
oh,
if TI2 was in. I think TI2 was also in
Yeah.
Seattle. I could be misremembering that. It may have also been, but for sure, like 5-6 years, like 5-6 years.
Yeah,
It had been in Seattle
because Valve's in
always.
Belleville, right, or Bellevue, whatever.
Yes, and they always did it at Benaroya Hall in Seattle. And then what happened was I forget when they actually upgraded Benaroya, but for 2018 they moved it to Vancouver.
W upgrade.
And 100% it was because of the immigration stuff that was going on at the time,
It's just so hard.
and it was just so much easier.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah.
no issues getting visas for TI8 or none notable I could think of. It was 6 years
Yeah.
ago, maybe or whatever, 7 years ago. But yeah, it's. But I remember like 100%. They never said publicly like, oh, we're gonna hold this in Canada because of the current administration, but that's what it was, like
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's
So-
why they're doing the COD Masters in or COD Major in,
Yeah.
in Kitchener, because you don't even need a passport to get there. They're just
Yeah.
accepting people.
Yeah,
They're like, Kitchener business, yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, no, but actually, dude, when I saw all the COD people complain about the Kitchener stuff, and I'll move on back to Valorant in a sec, I was like, listen, guys, like, okay, yes, they called it Champs Toronto. Sure, they're
That is
bad,
bait.
whatever. But Kitchener's
is-
still a great
That's
place to have 'em.
bait,
No.
bro.
But
It's still-
here's
no,
the
no,
thing.
but
it
it's
is the
still a
most
good place
Toronto
for a
thing
venue.
ever,
Yeah.
where like it is from being a little kid and people from Brampton and Oakville and Mississauga saying that they're from Toronto to literally the Canadian Open that just that just happened at TPC Toronto, which is in Caledon,
Yes.
which is an hour away from
so
where we are
far.
right now. To what's it?
State.
Rockstar Toronto,
Yeah.
Oakville, Ontario.
Ontario.
Like
Yeah.
it just it's
It's
just
Oh,
Edge.
Edge, WWE Edge is actually from Toronto, even though he's from like Orangeville or something, whatever. Either way, you know, if the immigration works better here, just throw your events here. We'll take more events, dude.
It is very cool seeing the signs. To bring it back to Valorant,
Yeah,
you
the
were talking about
paintings.
it. When I was in Worlds for 22 in San Francisco, it was amazing. Like you walk around the Chase Center and you can see like they had these like literally there'd be like these giant awesome super posters of like Steph Curry, and then like for the weeks I guess leading up
Yeah.
to World, they would just be this it would like drape over it this huge shot of Faker.
yeah.
And seeing it on this massive arena, right, in this major North American city, like, and you'd be walking on the streets and they'd have like bus ads. And with on the bus ads, they would have like Chovy and they would have like Ruler and and it was just like literally
That was like in Copenhagen when they
so
had like
cool.
McDonald's ads that were based on Counter Strike.
yeah.
And
It's
like
so
they
cool,
put a
man.
Pride mural up in Toronto. I think.
But that's the thing. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't. I was like, oh, well, Copenhagen's the
Yeah.
home of Counter Strike. Of
Exactly,
course, they're
yeah,
gonna do that.
it's like
But then
that.
seeing them do it for Valorant here, I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah, it
fucking
was cool.
sick.
It's
Like
very
we are.
cool, and I hope it does seriously get more. You know, I know Launders is like fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
Has the dream of like a major in Toronto, and like Godspeed, good sir. Like really, I mean, Jesus, give me that petition, I'll sign it 8 times.
You know, because it was in talks for a while to have a Rocket League major in Toronto, and like
I'd fucking go.
Oh,
me, LeafX, and like everyone were just like, "Oh my god, please! Oh my god!"
I'll go
please."
to any major, any event in Toronto. Like
Yeah.
I'm planning on going to Masters. I'm planning on going to COD Champs. Like any event in Toronto, COD Champs. But any event here, I will go. Like, but it's really cool. It's really cool to see Riot put it here.
And also, they didn't like cheap out either. Like they're an exhibition place, dude.
No,
that is an expensive venue to actually.
Riot
be
never
at.
does. That's
Yeah.
the thing, right? When they hold it when they hold it somewhere, they always pick like the premier cities. For them, it's like, and we've talked to Riot about it before. I think they're pretty open about it. It's not like a secret. It's a badge of pride for them. Like they like touring their games across the planet to major cities where like you get everybody gets a chance to go watch some Valorant or some League of Legends live, right? And like they love spreading across over the continents, and they don't cheap out when it comes to like, you know, I mean, God, man, when are we ever going to see a Counter-Strike event on the Eastern Seaboard ever again? Are we ever going to see one in like New York or Boston?
No.
It's so expensive to hold an
Yeah.
event there, right?
No.
Like
Never.
Well,
That-
that's the other reason though why like the whole why these things are called blank Toronto, even though it's non-Toronto. It's because it's
It's cheaper.
unbelievably expensive.
very expensive to do it.
to do
here.
it
Yeah.
in the
Dude,
city.
the tickets. Have you seen the tickets for
Dude,
Masters?
it's
It's insane.
I want that
nuts.
hockey jersey.
Yeah, I know, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
actually cool.
the Sentinels put out
I
a
looked at
hockey.
the match
jersey.
Oh, they have their own
real,
one too.
real quick, back to the game for a second. In terms of the actual game, so we were talking about Nats. He did come in. So unfortunately, Liquid did lose to Billy, and of course, this is still like stage 1. Like we're not even in kind of like proper bracket stage yet, because there's like top seeds get automatic seeded into the actual bracket itself. So this is just like the second and third seeds that are kind of battling it out. Sentinels, actually, as we're recording, are playing as we speak against Billy, excuse me, BLG. Who, I mean, we'll check in on the match later, but you know, this decent matchup. But Liquid's gonna have to play against MIBR. But now that they have Nats in the lineup, it looks a lot better for them, which is good. Obviously, I think next week when, you know, Masters starts to pan out a little bit more, I'm going to try and get Niall in to kind of speak on the whole thing and be able to give a proper insight to it. But along with that, because Niall was also on the project, while Masters is here, I want to give a huge shout out to a project that we put out last week. It was a 1.5-hour documentary on the most iconic moments in Valorant history. We thought it was quite timely. It was a huge celebration of the game and everything kind of that it stood for. It is so weird that the fact that we have made this, and you know, we have players in this documentary who are literally talking about how, you know, the early days of Valorant and like all this stuff. And
Feels like it literally just started.
it literally
does,
just you know, and I know the game is relatively younger, but the game is 5 years old now, and I'm like, I still remember just being in COVID when we're watching like Project L
A.
or A or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, dude, Sentinels and Tens won a major. It's crazy how Tens went from fucking Cloud9 or whatever and then won a major in
Yeah.
Valorant. It was a wild experience, but we wanted to really shine a light on everything that has happened thus far in Valorant and everything that we've been able to work on. Huge shout outs to the crew. Of course, our director Miles for putting this all together. I voiced it, so if you want to hear my nice voice throughout the course of the documentary, there you go.
I'll pass.
I'm good.
I'm kidding.
Damn, guys. Man, I heard.
No, I'm joking. You did a great job, and it's really cool, and a testament to also, I think, just like the level of skill and the level of fandom around the game that you're able to get an hour and a half out of it, plus everything that was left on the cutting room floor, right? For a game that is only 5 years old compared to the Counter-Strikes and League of Legends and Dotas.
It's not fair to counter to. I was gonna say like, it's crazy because 5 years into CS:GO, it didn't feel so fresh. Like think about 2013 to 2018. Like
that was
did CS:GO feel new in 2018?
No, that felt like that
it
was like the peak of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that it is apples and oranges because obviously we have had Counter-Strike since the early 2000s competitively esports, right? So when they switched from 1.6 to Go, like there was all that legacy, all that was Valorant. It was just this brand new thing. And yes, there was a lot of CS players who came in the beginning. I get that. But like the game was new. The game was it's 5 years of like since, BC, right? Like 0 BC, right? So it's I think that like it's impressive, and I think that the game has developed a very feral fan base in such a short period of time, and it's also probably only us who think it's a short period of time. Because if you're 16,
we're just
years old,
old as shit.
That's
we're just old. If you were 16 in this game, you were 11 when this game came out, right?
Yeah.
It's
that could have been your entire high school, your entire university experience was you playing this game and growing up alongside your friends, right?
Especially
so it is
with
special.
how much time during COVID and everything.
What's
People
crazy
just
to me,
grinded
man,
the
is
game.
like I'll talk to people all the time about Valorant. I meet Valorant fans out in the wild. We'll start talking about esports, whatever, talk about Valorant. And I'll reference like, I remember, in the beta, or I remember like, when this early, and literally like these very, very serious Valorant players who like follow the esports scene really closely. They're like immortal ranked. They really care. They'll be like, I didn't start playing until like early 2022.
Yeah.
Or like late 2021. So I don't know like what you're talking. I don't remember the era you're talking about. And I'll just be like, so look, I'm old. I'm like, I'm not that old. I was like, it's just so crazy to me that even in that 5-year history, there are serious devotees who've only been living in a 3.5-year history.
We saw it just within our short time span, the start of Tenz's Valorant career and the end. We saw a player go from like getting good, being in their prime, fucking peaking, go through the washed period, get the second peak, and then fucking retire all in the span of like 4 or 5 years. And we're like, what the fuck happened?
The best tweet I've ever seen, the best twit longer, I should say, I've ever seen was someone, I forget who it was. It was an absolutely fucking S+ tier shitpost where they released a twit longer. It was like midway through the Valorant closed beta, announcing their retirement from professional Valorant. It was so good. Like
that's me any game I start playing.
Sorry guys,
and then finally like I play and I'm like, yo, I'm actually fucking goated, and then the skill-based matchmaking kicks in. I'm like, you know what, my time with this game was fun. I would like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank everybody who believed in me and followed me on this journey, but
I'm gonna choose a streamer life.
One thing I am super interested in, because I just started playing Valorant again. I re-downloaded it. Yeah, I started playing again. Yeah,
I downloaded it too.
I just been playing. Like I haven't even reached out to Niall or anything like that. Like I just been like kind of playing by myself, like getting back into it, and like it's like Siege, right, where you feel like you have to like relearn everything and watch fucking tier list videos to play it, which is part of the what makes the game different and special.
The number of times I've opened Siege in the past 2.5 years after not playing for 6 months, and my first words are, "Is Sledge still a 1 speed?" That's all I fucking care about. Just tell me that.
For me, it's I download it and I go and I'm like, "Who's this now?"
Yeah.
See, who's this person?
I'm
like an old like.
Who guys with your fucking Zoomer games? You guys just got to play games where they literally don't change.
Car.
You guys got to play Melee okay, where the
True.
game hasn't changed in 20-something years, okay? You just pick up a controller, you fucking go O2 and bracket, and then you're just like, all right, boys,
That
I'm
is the
back.
age of the people that play the game. Yeah, I don't. I am curious, and maybe Niall will know, and the people who worked on editing it more would have a better idea. If the, I'm sure they tried to do a good job using as much like clips from the different, throughout the years, but I wonder if they come from a specific time during the game. Like a lot of them are like most of the clips are actually from like the first half, because like obviously the question about Valorant, that like obviously that Ryder going to have to face one day is the sort of like power creep, the like,
Yes.
okay, we got too much shit on the
they're
screen
trying
now,
to
the
right
visual clutter, blah blah, and that's clearly something that they're going to be addressing in the future. It's clearly something that they're working on behind the scenes and have already spoken about. But I wonder if it is also still just like more of a, like we're tricking ourselves into being like, oh, the game has gotten a little bit more washed out because of all of these abilities and all these different characters. But if Niall says no, like this is like basically an even 25-25-25 split, like look at all these plays that are from like the last like 9 months alone, and it's just like crazy shit you're watching, then maybe it is proof that the game is still in a perfectly healthy state, and there's no issues.
It's also like, I don't want to speak as far as like the peak of the scene or whatever, but it was a different time, generally in esports as well.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like there's so much investment in the game. There was just so much money in the game. There was so much more eyes on the game.
Yeah,
And that's the case for all esports, But I will say that, Valorant is continuing to improve. They are actually, and I do have it loaded here, they're moving to Unreal Engine 5. Now, I already know that basically Valorant is on Unreal 4, as I imagine. But moving over to Unreal 5, kind of, we've seen the
Are they going to bring the skins over?
They fucking better. Jesus Christ. Inventories are crazy. But they are moving everything over to Unreal Engine 5 for their anniversary as well. As well as replays, for the love of God.
Finally.
Finally.
That would have been nice to have that for the video, you think?
Oh my God. And I knew, like, literally when that announcement came out, we were pretty much already done. And our directors, so I would love if he got on the mic right now just to say what the reaction was.
It
but
is what it is.
But we're like, literally our guys are going into fucking Blender, remaking some of these plays and remaking some of these moments in time. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're bringing replays.
Yeah, but God knows when that's actually going to happen, right? Like they've been talking about it for years.
It is the most Riot Games thing in existence. It's like, I say it all the time, where I'm like, the most League of Legends thing ever is that we don't have champion specific keybinds, but we have a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Guys,
we have an amusement park opening up.
Yeah. Like don't ever change, right? Like, please change. For the love of God, change, but don't ever change. It's just it's the most fucking, it's the Riot special.
I do want to rant a bit though.
Yeah.
About what?
If you don't mind.
But say your shit.
I know it is Rocket League related.
Oh, you're allowed to.
No, but this is actually a big thing. Because Epic and I, how I said last time that if I talked about bring back Rocket League trading, that someone would comment about it. Someone did comment about it, and they're like, yeah. But in all seriousness, Dimitri, because I've told you a bunch of times how much Epic Games has struggled with the game since they bought it. One of the things that has always been a curse has been like very much like Source 2 for CS, right? Is Unreal 5 for Rocket League. It has been in the works for years. Like Rocket League is still on Unreal Engine 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was released in 2004. And it is, because Lethamir is a friend of mine, it is so hard to work in that engine. And the game is I don't want to say it's dying. The player base is still huge, but it is struggling. It is moving on. And it was a shot to the foot. The fact that we're seeing a game that's 5 years old already getting ported over to Unreal 5, yet our game, which is like holding on for its last fucking breath, is 10 years old now and we haven't heard an inkling of it being moved over to Unreal 5.
So there's never been a confirmation, or people know it's happening, they just don't know when.
It was allegedly leaked that they're working on it through like a job
Yeah, you can't
posting,
trust
but we
those.
haven't heard anything about it. And people are like, this is like the promised land. This is what's going to revitalize the game.
Yeah.
And I guarantee when it happens, you guys will be talking about Rocket League a lot more.
I play Rocket League like at least once a week.
It's fucking awesome. Like I'm telling
I played
you guys.
it one time in 10 years, and I can confirm that the one time I played it, I had fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And
I used to play, what is it, Super
Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars.
We used to
SRPC.
Shout out to my boys Oliver, Matt, Brennan, aka Pipes.
Okay.
Olds.
Pipesy?
Trying
to get the crew back together?
Squad?
I haven't talked to these guys in forever, but we used to play that game like in our buddy's basement all the time, and then Rocket League came out, and I was just like obsessed with it for so long. Like not to the point where like I thought this was like something that I would care to watch like professionally or partake in professionally.
It's awesome.
But I thought it was almost the most perfect casual game.
Can I say this? Because I think the Rocket League has something that I've always struggled with Valorant. I think Rocket League is exceptionally fun to watch. I think it is simplistic as hell. It's just literally carball. It's just soccer with cars. You're like, cool, I'm in. Done. Easy, right? Like, and there's like a few rules about the ball touching this and that and like a couple of intricacies, but the general principle of just like carball, 2 nets, carball, super easy. I'm really curious with Masters, because I'm going to be watching it, is like my thing with Valorant has just always been, it's so boring to watch. It is so slow. The game is so slow and it is so molasses paced compared to Counter-Strike that like I'm really curious, especially now because I've gone probably like 2 years without watching any like sizable amount of professional Valorant, right? I'm really curious if to your point about the meta, power creep, things like that, how the pacing is going to feel. I can't wait to talk to Niall about it when we have him on.
Let me wrap this up real quick, because now not only is Unreal 5 being pushed onto Valorant, we already have an inkling that they're working on Unreal 6 and like 5.6 and everything like that. And so I'm just going to say once, and then I will drop it. You will never hear me talk about it ever again. Someone save this game, because this is one of the most pure physics games you will ever see. If you think Melee is a pure physics game that never changes, Rocket League is a physics game that is so pure, it has never been touched. It is just pure video game that just works.
It is a video gamey ass video.
It is
I will say that.
fucking video game that just fucking works.
It do be a fucking video game.
It has been dealt with so much neglect. Trading has been removed from the game. So much has been removed. And as much as Blast,
Krieg, man. Don't even get me
dude,
started on the
and as much as everyone has been trying, and Blast, I love them. They've been doing their best to just keep the esports scene alive. It's been an uphill battle. And I just, please, just give some love to this game.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I load it up and I don't see like a single issue. And I guess you could say the same thing about Valorant, right? And here is my, because I have, I still, because of Don't At Me and stuff like that, like I still watch highlights and stuff like that. Like I need to be like, have my finger on the pulse to an extent of every game. Because I'm built fucking different. No,
yes, sir.
But like one thing that kind of helped me, which I feel like as a Counter-Strike fan, first and foremost, and Dota fan, first and foremost, you would be able to appreciate, is what I started to do was have like a few agents that I really like or whatever, and then just kind of like fall in love with like the tech of it, because like, yes, it gets fucking cluttered and it makes it kind of confusing, and then it also, you get to that 20-second meta like was in Siege for so long. So what you kind of got to do is just be like like less than appreciating the gunplay, ironically, is you need to appreciate like the tech that people put into like when they're using their abilities, when they're placing them, the perfect placement. And you will hear the casters point those things out because they are so locked into it, right? So like, and that was where I started to get like a second form of appreciation. Yes, I do think that a lot needs to be done to speed up the gameplay, to declutter, And how you do that at this point, I think is
You can tell by some of the patches that they're putting into the game, like the Tejo
Sure.
nerfs and stuff, that they're trying to just tone it back. But it's a long battle, right?
It's
And
a
It
long-
is
I
a long
just-
battle, and like
yeah.
the last time I played, I used to play the game seriously. When the game came out, I played it pretty seriously. I was kind of bored of CS:GO, the way a lot of
Mhm.
people were at the time. Like people forget that in 2020, like the fucking Krieg meta was in full swing. The game was not seeing updates. It was just like not.
yeah.
It was not right. Like I played Valorant pretty seriously. Like I grinded it pretty hard. I hit like a high elo. Like I was like I just. The problem was the more I played it, the more I started to get really disenchanted by the movement and the shooting.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, I know he was like sort of memeing, but I keep coming back to this Nico quote where he did an interview with Moses like a year or two ago, where he was unironically being like, I've never played the game. He's like, but every time I see a Twitter clip from Valorant, it's just someone holding an angle on a catwalk while 4 people like just walk into his crosshair. And then the casters just lose it because he's just like did the 1.6 tap thing against 4 people who were shift walking. And he's like unironically being like, people are losing their shit. And he's like, this is like, not to be a dick, but he's like, this just doesn't look hard. Like, I don't understand.
Maybe
like,
maybe Masters Toronto will change your mind.
I hope
hopefully
it
this time
does.
around.
That's why I think that you
I
need
hope it
to
does.
you need to try and focus
got-
more on the tech
on
of
the
the
tech
Yeah,
than
you
on the
gotta
shooting.
you gotta
Yeah.
get like think of it more like Dota than it is Counter-Strike, right? But which is
Dota?
not a fair comparison. Anyway,
No.
apologies for the rant, boys. I just
No, you're allowed.
Fine,
it's
man.
been a painful couple years.
We've actually exceeded our Rocket League quota for this episode.
Yeah,
We've
so
been very
I
generous today.
apologize, but you know, I think it needed to be said because it's been a hard road for a lot of people. That being said, along with the Unreal developments that happened last week, we also had the Xbox showcase that was also over the weekend,
Oh,
which
yeah.
made, of course,
There's also
esports
the
even more
state
difficult.
of play and
What'd
stuff
I
like
miss?
that.
What's the highlight?
Oh, Black Ops 7.
Yeah, new Black Ops. That's gonna be it's gonna be co-op.
Serious?
Black Ops 7.
Yeah, Black Ops 7.
And it's like not
It's a sequel to 2. To Black. I'm not even fucking joking. when I'm saying
like
this.
bring it on the screen.
It's a sequel to 2, and it's gonna be co-op. Like
Black
the whole
Ops
thing.
7,
apparently.
bro. Do you realize like I was hyped when the first Black Ops came out. Like, how are we at 7? Like
This is
Well,
fucking-
4 barely counts because 4 was.
4 was,
Which one was 5? Was that Cold War?
I think.
6.
Yeah, I think-
7.
Because 4 was the battle royale that ended up becoming Warzone eventually.
Yeah. Well, no, and then they had the really crappy campaign that was.
Guys, I'm going to level with you. I haven't played a Black Ops since the original, and it was really bad, so I decided I was never.
That
gonna
is
play
my
one again.
favorite Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, you
all
didn't
time.
like it because there was no opping in that game. Or sorry, there's no quick scoping. In
There
that
wasn't
game.
any quick
It
scope.
was
Which,
terrible.
yeah, they nerfed it.
They nerfed
But
it
you know,
too,
we
yeah.
got some other stuff too. What
Scroll to
else?
the top. Scroll to the top.
Gears? What's going
Let's
on
go
here?
down.
All
Let's
right,
go
all
down.
right,
Let's go
hold
down.
on.
There's a lot of
Let's
shit here,
let's
bro.
talk some
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, new handheld.
Yeah, there's new
Is that Meat Boy?
handheld. What?
Go to top. Oh, I thought it was Meat Boy.
No.
That's
But
fair, yeah.
for some reason we're getting a High on Life too. Am
What's
I the
High
only?
Life?
Am I
It's
the only one?
the creators of
No. But hold on. I thought Justin Roiland was canceled as hell.
or is it the other guy? I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be that.
Harmon or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's the writers or creators of
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, I've never watched
But
it.
it has that
It's
issue
the
with
talking gun.
with
right?
it has the issue that I've had with Rick and Morty where it just feels like they can't live on dead air. They can't live
Oh,
on a
yeah,
joke.
yeah.
Like you can't linger on anything. Everything needs to be as quick as possible. And sometimes you do get funny moments and funny little zany things out of it. But then I think I was playing the tutorial for this game because it was on Xbox Game Pass. I'm like, no, that's enough for me.
I've
Yeah.
never played this.
Oh,
What's the next one?
and you returned it.
It was Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, okay, all right.
Wait, did I see? I'm jumping ahead here because it's the only thing I saw that did I see they announced the new Resident Evil?
Yes.
yes.
February
Fuck,
February
yes,
27th.
And it's not a remaster.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
Super
next
Meat Boy 3D.
furthest one, right? It is Meat
It is
Boy.
Meat Boy.
What the fuck, bro?
It's
Yeah,
in
dude.
3D,
Okay.
dude.
This
In
is
3D.
brother. How the fuck did I not see this? Okay, Meat Boy is one of my top 5 games all time. My whole life.
Have you seen the documentary?
I've seen the documentary 18 times. I own Meat Boy on every platform you can own it on. I've played this game. I've completed this game like 3 times back to back to back. I have spent more time playing Super fucking Meat Boy than any human being ever should. I'm obsessed with Meat Boy. My wife bought me a Switch. The first thing I did was
Holy
play Meat
shit.
Boy. Are
Is
you
it like-
serious? This is real?
It's like fully 3D.
This is like, what the fuck?
That's fucking sick.
Is
bro.
this made? This is not made by Team. Is it made by Team Meat? Has to be, right?
That's really cool.
What the fuck?
That's neat, dude. That's neat.
Are you?
That's neat.
This is. I'm having a fucking fever dream right now. There is no way. this
Holy
is real.
shit, bro.
There is no way that 15 years later they are releasing this game in a full 3D version. This is like,
Oh my gosh.
oh,
It's just the guy
I'm
who's-
so psyched.
It was just the guy and his wife, right? Or
This is Edmund McMillan and Tommy Rafez
Okay.
who made this original game, but Edmund McMillan has not. Who made it?
Head up.
It's no way. It's like, okay, Team Meat on the far right.
Yeah, Team
It's
Meat on the
clearly
far
a
right.
studio.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Edmund McMillan, as far as I know, doesn't work with that studio. Like they're not a duo anymore. Like,
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so fucking excited right now, bro. Are you kidding me?
What's was that from like Step Brothers? I'm so fucking
I've
excited
been
right
waiting 15 years for this game, bro. Like,
now.
Like this is my like what they announced Xbox this year showcase. What do you want to see there? Zone of the Enders 2. This is my goat. This is my dream.
Some
dude.
people will be excited that we're getting a new Ninja Gaiden. Platinum Games, dude. Fucking make it. That's hype, man.
I do enjoy some Ninja Gaiden.
What is it? Yeah, I don't care.
Really?
Don't care.
Grounded 2.
Uh,
This is like
Is
a
it Stray?
no. This is gonna be like a kind of Dead Space type game.
right.
Is this Stray?
Is
Oh
it?
no, I thought
no,
it was
no,
this
no,
was
no.
Stray.
There's another one too.
Okay.
This
But
one
these are
looks
some-
cool.
Okay, can I say this? It does seem like there's a lot of original IP.
Oh yeah,
here.
they're making a solo leveling game.
That's an anime, right?
Oh god, you guys.
I've heard the.
Oh, you guys.
I've heard the name.
Okay. Okay. You know the fucking whole aura thing?
You sure?
Yeah. Solo leveling.
What about
It's
it?
all because of solo leveling.
I don't know what that
Basically.
means.
You guys are such boomers. Okay.
Can we just go to the next one?
All right.
One thing though
okay,
that
the weebs will know. Okay, the
I'm
weebs
sure
will
they
know. What else? Persona
Persona
4
5.
5.
Hold
Yep.
on. That's a full remake.
yeah,
Yes.
the same treatment the other
And
one's
they'll
got.
go, oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, done. Easy.
A new thing for Fallout 76.
I think it already came out.
Yep.
I've never
um,
played Fallout 76.
Oh
not
yeah,
bad.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Getting remakes?
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing because I remember seeing like, I know like Xbox Game Pass does it where you click on a game that's like upcoming and it'll have like this many days because like you could preload it and it'll be like in this many days like countdown.
Yes,
it'll be a
yes.
countdown. It was like the longest It was like 340 days, and it was like preload now. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, better reserve this on my hard drive, bro.
Invincible fighting game.
Cool.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty neat.
Cool if you like the
from
show.
trailer. Of course,
Obviously.
this was a big one. Of
Is this
you know,
this is a remake of the original?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because they're now all coming to PlayStation.
Are they really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gears 2 was goated.
New
Sea of
season
Thieves
for Sea of
season-
Thieves. Shout out Sea of Thieves, bro. By the way, completely underrated game. Everyone leaves it because the sweats ruined it. But man,
Never
I've
played it.
never had a better PvE experience.
It's great.
In my
It's a
life.
great game.
I've never
For me, it
played
wasn't there just wasn't enough. The gameplay loop was good, but I don't feel like there wasn't enough to unlock. I feel like the game needed something like base building
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah, I
that
can
in
see
it.
that, Yep.
That it was just kind of.
Why is
missing
that
for me.
the Final Fantasy remake just really quickly? Why is that news? Like it wasn't on Xbox up to this point. Is that why? The 7
Yeah,
remake?
headed to Xbox.
It was on PC and what, PlayStation?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
I've never played
I believe
the
so.
remake.
I think
played the
it's
original,
Final Fantasy 16, Keeper,
Double Fine.
and then Black Ops 7, buddy.
Yeah, I know because there was like State of Play and like a bunch of like new game things. Mudfish, the people who did Atomic Heart, I know that has like a pretty big cult following, and it's a sick game outside of the voice acting. So hopefully they figure that out. But they like announced that they're like branching off into a bigger studio, and they're releasing like 2 games. They're doing like a new Atomic Heart like game, but then also like what I assume is like a battle royale type game called like The Cube that exists. They're trying to create like a cinematic universe with like this weird, people call it like Bliat punk.
Okay.
Because it's like Soviet futurism and there's a lot of cool ideas in that game.
Real
So,
quick,
yeah.
I do also want to bring up as well. We got a
Oh,
new
yeah.
Bond game.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
let's
It's the first piece of like Bond media since the transfer over to. It's a whole story, but Amazon now fully has like the creative rights of all of
Yeah.
James Bond, and one of the things that, of course, they're making is a Bond game. Very much in
Who's
line.
Bond? Like, who
No,
was-
no, it's just a guy.
Oh, it's not like
it's
an-
not,
not
the,
one of the
the
actors?
actual
Okay.
actor just yet, but very much in line with the Indiana Jones game that came out.
Okay.
It looks good. It's only cutscenes. We have no gameplay, but that's Bond.
Is that not Tom Cruise?
That's not Tom Cruise.
Kind of does look like Tom Cruise.
It does not look like Tom Cruise.
It looks like
bro.
Tom
It does
Cruise.
a little
No,
bit.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, this looks more like
You know who it looks like? Tom Cruise.
no, the guy from New Girl. Or if you ever watched The Big Short, he was the douchey real
Oh, like
estate guy.
Schmidt?
Yeah, Schmidt.
Yeah?
Schmitty.
No, it doesn't. That
It
looks
doesn't.
like
Looks like
that
Tom
looks like
no,
Tom
it,
Cruise.
no, it does not look like
Yeah, it
Tom
does.
Cruise. I'm going to throw hands.
Put a poll.
Tom Cruise or
Schmidt.
Schmidt from New Girl.
Um,
This is tough.
I like this was one of the series where like my dad, because like my dad really he liked the idea of gaming, and he liked I think he also saw how much money went into a lot of them, and like how big the
Bro, what do you mean it doesn't look like
I know who the actor is.
I know who he is, man. It just does. It's just the hair. That's it. Like it doesn't look like Schmidt.
Alright,
It's just
whatever. I also find it funny.
Bro, I
I-
watched that Witcher 4 Unreal. I saw that.
Oh, it's unreal.
Fuck me raw.
More like, man, I was like, fuck
Now-
off.
no,
I'll,
no.
I'll see it when
Now-
I see it.
Now
Dude, I saw that and I was like, that demo
Yeah.
is 100% all they've made.
Yeah,
Like, there's
exactly.
No way.
I was wondering, like, the thing when the fucking apples knock over and then the
Yeah.
console. I'm like, how many times is that gonna happen until you get fucking bored of it? Where like
Yeah.
every time you walk close to a fucking apple, so everything falls over.
I
Yep.
saw this, bro, and I'm a like absolutely like giga Witcher fan. I mean, like I love the games, but I mean, like I've been reading the book since I was
Yeah.
in middle school. Like I'm a huge Witcher fucking fan, and like I saw this demo and I was like, are you?
it's unreal.
kidding me.
I can't wait
This
to
would be in
blow up my
Skellige, right?
computer, dude.
This is Skellige for
Yeah.
sure.
Can't wait to
For
blow up my
sure,
computer,
for
bro.
Sure, for sure.
I'm excited to see like that. I don't know. Did they show like combat?
I don't.
No,
believe
not in
they
this.
did.
So
think
like
it's
I
just a tech demo.
really want to see combat. you know?
Combat in 3 was really good.
I
It
know,
was
but it's
solid,
more just
really
I want to
solid.
see this engine like handle combat, right? I want to see like how you move and like everything
I
like
think
that.
my thing is I just want to see how it handles.
'Cause it
Like,
looks good, but I want to see the polish with interactiveness to it. You know?
Did you play 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never. I've played through, cover to cover of.
I've played fucking Thronebreaker, bro, which is literally just a
Fuck.
story-based Gwent game.
the other story-based Gwent
Brother.
game.
Brother,
This
I
looks
fuck-
insane.
I fucking clear in Gwent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to settle some shit? I don't want. If you ask me to 1v1 you, it's CS:GO. You ask me to 1v1 on a deeper level, it's fucking Gwent.
I have an ongoing bit, like whenever I like join my like group of friends and they are like back on like their Hearthstone binge or whatever, all like, and they're like streaming themselves playing or whatever, like just in like Discord, like I'll just do the same bit over and over where I'll like re-download Gwent and then just like also start streaming myself in Discord playing Gwent instead, and it's just like the tutorial every time. So I'm like, I'm telling you, this game's better.
Dude.
It's anyway, that was basically the Xbox showcase. And I know like there's people are laughing at stuff. You're obviously super excited about Super Meat Boy. I hope it's good. I do.
It looks good.
I
mean, don't know.
I have such a low
Hope it
faith
is.
in like
I'm so bad at platformers.
oh yeah, dude.
I love them. I love
Yeah.
them. But like I'm so bad at them and I think they give me headaches.
I like,
Okay.
I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know. Like I tried
Yeah.
playing like Split Fiction. I know that's not like a proper platformer, but like that game made me nauseous and like I used to love Little Big Planet when I was a kid and I would play the shit out of it, but I remember I'd be like playing it like nauseous, but I want to keep playing because
Did you ever play like Celeste?
yes, I played Celeste. I was just bad at that game, I think.
Okay.
I don't think I could play it long enough for me to get
For you
sick
to
because I was
actually,
just
yeah.
actually that game's fucking hard though.
Oh, that's awesome.
I do.
I love Celeste.
One of the other things that was
Canadian game, I
pointed
think,
out
right?
I
recently.
believe so.
Do you guys remember Deadlock?
I love Deadlock.
I saw this here and I want to talk about this. Like, yeah, this is an interesting discussion point.
I don't know what this is about, but I'm a Deadlock fan.
Okay. You play Deadlock?
Yes.
Okay. I play Deadlock. I think we all collectively like Deadlock.
It's a great game.
Do you like Deadlock?
He probably has a different opinion though because he's
Because you're a nerd.
he's a Dota fan as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a Dota player. And I'm actually like Go ahead. Yeah.
So basically, to put it mildly, Deadlock has been in a invite only build for what feel a year now, like a full year, maybe more.
Yeah.
And over the course of its period, it has lost 90% of its player base.
Yeah.
Now, I think that this is a bit of a red herring. I think like this is a nothing burger personally. Not that we shouldn't talk about it, more that
sure.
I think a lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to be dead on arrival. Oh, it's going to be done on launch, without completely understanding what the whole fucking purpose of this build was.
Yeah.
And that's to develop the game.
For sure. I mean, like, I always like joke about it when like people were like saying it was dead like 6 months ago after like it died. Like, one thing I'll put out, I don't think the intention, especially like knowing like how small of a team is working on this and how kind of like open the team is as far as like communication and stuff like that. It's almost like they hardly feel like they're associated with Valve whatsoever. But I don't think that this game is meant to be as popular as Counter-Strike or Dota or League of Legends, right? Like, I think it's its own thing, and it's coming in, and they know that it's going to be a little bit more niche because it's a sort of like arena, like Smite, I would always say is like the closest game to it in a lot of ways.
I actually disagree. I think like, remember, they're trying to bounce back from like the Artifact disaster, and that they haven't produced like Valve, let alone, haven't produced a game besides Half-Life Alyx, which was basically a glorified tech demo, in a very long time at this point. That has like been well received from an audience that really
First
is like,
off, it's not a glorified tech demo if it's the greatest VR experience
yeah, that's
to date.
great.
I will just say it
I
is.
don't play VR. I can't.
Neither can I, but it's the one thing that I shelled out money to get and rented a thing.
Yeah. And then like CS2, I mean, it's basically just like an update to CS, but they haven't made a new proper IP.
For sure, but what I'm saying is that like I don't think they have any intention for this game to be bigger than any of the major games.
Why not? Why else would you make it?
Because it's not going to be.
But it absolutely could.
No, it can't.
Why do you think Marvel Rivals is so huge? It's a reinvention of
Yeah,
the
but
team
Marvel
shooter.
Why would
Rivals-
they make it if they were not?
No. Here's like I think it's going to be great. I just think that people saying that like, oh, it's dropped off 90% of its player base, but I'm like, I don't think that player base is ever going to get to the level of 1.7 million players a day like Counter-Strike is. That doesn't mean don't make it. When people are dropping off, there is like one game mode. They have a bunch of characters. They're missing fucking animations. Like it is, like you said, like they're currently building this game, and there's no microtransactions, which is what this game is going to be another conveyor belt for, is selling skins and a new market, right?
Yeah.
I think this game is, in a way, going to replace Team Fortress 2.
Oh, you're about to make. Oh boy. Oh no.
What?
You're going to make a lot of people upset.
What are you talking about?
But they shouldn't be upset at him. They should be upset at Valve.
Yeah,
exactly.
Team Fortress.
That's not,
That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that I don't think that this game, they're making it to be like it is going to dethrone. Obviously, they don't want to dethrone their own games, but I don't think they're thinking that it's going to compete at the same level as Dota and CS do, because that's just like, to make that would be insane. I think this is way too niche of a genre, which I respect the hell out of it, and I really enjoy this game. But I think similar to TF2, which is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
They want this to replace it. They want a fresh game with fresh skins and fresh mechanics. Yeah. As they, finally released the final comic for TF2 after fucking 8 years or whatever.
Loved that.
I have.
Yeah, Dimitri,
That's my opinion.
you're a little quiet, bud. Go off,
I think
King.
that Deadlock is. I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this that is not, because I mean this sincerely. I'm not saying this to have like a hot take. I think Valve have seriously fucked the launch of this game. I think this game, I'm not going to sit here and say that Deadlock is dead while it is literally in an invite only build.
Yeah.
But I am going to sit here and say that this is the second hardest botch of a game launch they have ever done behind Artifact.
Yeah.
This game was all the wrong things they could have done to bring this game in front of the public eye.
Yeah.
They have taken. They have successfully ruined every possible thing they could do for this.
Okay, why?
Because this game is not Counter-Strike. This game is not, here's an AK, shoot the guy with the M4. You can be a fucking 9-year-old or a 39-year-old, and you can play that game, and you can play after work, and you can play with yourself. This game, and I say this as a very serious Dota player, a long time, very serious Dota player. This game is very, very deep.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
hard.
It is.
It's very hard. And I opened it for the first time, having got this invite, and I took one look at it, and I played it, and I went to the tutorial, and I started reading things, and I realized this is a second Dota.
Yeah.
This game is going to take literally every hour. I'm going to spend 17 minutes sitting here and reading tooltips before I even put left click to screen. And that's okay.
Yeah.
There was a time in my life when that's what I wanted out of a game. I still like to do that with Dota. But I had this moment where I went, this is a very, very, very hard game. This is not the kind of game where you're just going to jump in and you're just going to like go on u.gg and be like, what's the build, and just build the items.
Yeah.
And just, like, you need to do critical thinking. You need to always be like, and I think that when you bring a very, very, very difficult game to market, when you bring a Dota 2, a StarCraft Brood War, when you bring a Path of Exile, when you bring a game like this to market, you need to be very cognizant of the first time player experience.
Yeah.
And the first time player experience that I had as a 15-year Dota player was literally be like, whoa, like, wait, what? Like, I'm reading these items and I'm where's the shop, and wait, so where are the lanes? So this is okay. So I can headshot the creeps. So like, that's a tower. Oh, that tower's a dude. Okay, that's cool. Wait, so what does this ultimate do? Wait, so what does this person do? Wait, so what does the game? And I was playing and I was like, this is really, 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 really fun.
Yeah.
I'm super bad because I just started playing. We're all super bad because we just started playing. But when Dota 2 launched in 2011, the beta, right away, beta keys were in the hands of creators. Purge was starting his Welcome to Dota 2 You Suck guide. Dota Cinema was doing videos. Like, there was this, and we saw this with Marvel Rivals. We saw this with what's it called? With Valorant, right? Just this, like, the creators were doing so much of the community work to be like, hey, this game's really hard. You want to get into it? Let's figure it. The problem is that Valve have put this incredibly difficult fucking like tech build in front of the Steam player base for the past year, right? And they have just never advanced it past any stage of just, hey, fuck with this thing. It is literally multiplayer Gary's mod, where you just walk in and you just go, I don't really know what's happening, but I guess I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
And then you do that a second time, and then you do that a third time, and then you're kind of like, well, I don't know, like, this is really hard, and I don't really understand what's happening here, and it just doesn't seem like a community is able to, and I just think that Valve did this thing where they, like, half-released it, and a lot of people will have opened this game for the first time, gone, this seems cool, but I don't know if it is, anyway, I guess I'll just wait until it comes out, and then it never came out, and then now it's just literally like a year later, people are just like, I mean, I don't know, like, I guess
it would need to be a massive release.
Dude,
well, setting themselves
so they
up
have
for...
hinted at that, right? Or there was a leak allegedly where that was essentially a complete rework of the game. Certain what do you call them, agents or whatever it might be, have been reworked, and there's a graphical update. Yeah, I mostly agree to your point. I think it's like, it's a really, really dense game. But
very dense.
That being said, it was the most, I think, invested I felt in a new esports-based multiplayer game that I've probably felt in a very long time.
And then what happened?
I dropped off the game.
Why? I'm sincerely asking.
Not because of the fact that it was too hard.
Nope. Why?
But I couldn't solo.
Who were you watching play the game? Who was playing the game? What teams were playing? Where were the? That's what I'm saying. Where was the like? Remember when Valorant came out? Remember in beta?
No. Hold on. There were plenty of tournaments.
I know. However, and I tried following them.
No. There were plenty of tournaments. There was even a college scene, right?
Yes.
That being said, the reason I dropped off the game, it wasn't a solo queue friendly game. And for me, I'm a solo queue like lord. I will solo queue every game. If the game isn't like enjoyable as a solo queue game, where it's not, I'm not able to build synergy with other people, there's no set roles or whatever, and it's basically just go and do whatever, I don't enjoy the game as much. And I really actually enjoyed the process of being able to read and do stuff and be able to consume the game and really learn it but it felt to a point where, like you mentioned, it was slightly endless. And like as synergy, as the development of the game from its player base, it got harder. It got more challenging. And it's like, okay, well, now I have to read to keep up. I have to read these new builds to keep up and all this stuff. And the game was developing so quickly also because they were changing the fucking characters all the time.
All the time.
Which is obviously, you know, it's in beta, whatever, but where you're changing your characters all the time. And then I have to suddenly read the new tips of these fucking new items and how these new abilities work. It's the same reason why like Valorant is struggling right now, is because they're changing shit all the time. If you had somehow found a way to keep that development build, right, half the time, 6 months, build up towards a release, like Rematch has done, by the way, you get a hardcore dedicated base that's invested into the the development of the game, that have already become well known, but also still leaves lots of room for it to grow. And then all you have to work on is just introducing the new player. Like Valve has historically struggled with almost every one of their games introducing the new player. Even nowadays, if you were to play CS2, you open CS2 right now. If you were to open CS2, try and play a game without any sense of any of the mechanics, you're not going to have a good time.
And that's not even mentioning Dota.
Yeah, and I tried Dota. I really gave it a fucking hate.
Sorry, every point you just made is really good. It is really good. I will say, though, the point I was asking why I was pressing is because remember when Valorant came out? I'll give props to Riot for one thing. They released Valorant early. They said this in 2020.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic, they realized everybody was sitting at home. They realized they had a timing. Yeah. They were like, we have a timing here to get this in front of everybody, and it worked out for them. But like they sat down and they were like, cool, we're going to do some tournaments that are non-sanctioned because the game's really early. Remember First Strike?
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Remember that the thing that Valve have botched is they like put this thing in front of people and they just absolutely gave them no explanation. They gave them no sense of like community, of orientation. They gave them no sense of, we were memeing for the first 2 months about how the game's not even really out yet and how like it's a secret and how Valve were like they were suing people or whatever the fuck, cease and desists for like talking about it, right? Like it's just like they've done this thing where they've managed to basically give everybody the worst possible first player experience they could have with this game, and then a year from now they're going to be like, by the way, here's what we've been working on, Deadlock. And 2 years later, people can be like, yeah, I played this 2 years ago and it was so hard and I didn't know where the lanes were and I don't want to play this again.
Yeah.
Sorry, go. I think they got spooked was the issue, was with all the leaks happening. I think that they felt like their birthday kind of got ruined a bit. So I think that they had to release it in this sort of limited access, because if you remember leading up to it, it felt like there was like leak after leak after leak after leak, because all these players that had access to it that weren't supposed to be showing people access to it. Yeah,
but not
no. I mean, when we were doing videos about how people were like, every day there was like a new leak of this game.
Yeah.
And I felt like they got spooked and they're like, fuck, everyone, cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows this game.
Is it possible that this game managed to get leaked, which it did, and fucking CS2 didn't?
Yeah.
I remember after it came out, Flom was literally on stream and other streamers being like, yeah, so they invited all of us to Seattle to play the game. And like, when there were times when like him, Moses, Get Right, all the names, right. And he said like, literally, I've been on camera for the past 2 months being like, you know, like, oh, CS2, what's that report? That'll never happen. That's crazy. And he's like, you have any idea how difficult it was for this whole time to be like, I've literally played the game. Yeah. How the fuck does a Counter-Strike sequel not get leaked, but this entirely new brand new?
I think you're comparing a 20-year community, which you can trust people because they've been in for a very long time, versus a brand new community, which, let's be clear, is coming from like, you know, TF2 people who may be mad, or Overwatch kids who are looking for a new game.
I would have to go back and watch my video on it, because I literally did a video on this very thing. Not necessarily how it got leaked, but how this is essentially, if it was explained to me correctly, it was explained to me that like this is as hands-off Valve can be from a project is like what it is. It's like it's like the same thing that like whatever Campo Santos got bought for, where they're probably going to be making their own game like unassociated with Valve really. So I think like their Discord, like you join that Discord, that it gives you the option to, and you can only try once, or else you have to get re-invited or some shit. When you first launch the game, they're in there explaining all their intentions of the game, everything they want to do, like all their handles, it's all through Discord. Yeah. You could see on the right-hand side who's working on the game, like who's a developer, how many developers there are. And I think that's just, I don't know if that's why it got leaked, because it was more of like, not amateur, I shouldn't say that, but like more of like less experience with Valve's tight-lippedness. So they kind of like, things got out that way.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was 100% Valve's oversight, they wouldn't have let that happen.
The problem is that they didn't adapt. They didn't adapt to the changing climate of their own game. They should have gone at least a Dota 1 or a Dota 2 route of like maybe doing something for the community, maybe making it a bit more official, maybe throw a tournament or something to like get better balance, better everything, and more involvement, instead of just having to deal with a billion different players
Go to
playing this
Purge
game.
before the game, or when it leaks, or as it's leaking. Go to Purge, sit down with him, and say, "Hey, would you be interested in doing a video?" Doing like a 3-hour tutorial on how we're going to give you a build of the game early.
Yeah.
You can do a tutorial. You can do, right? Like, welcome to Deadlock. You suck, right? And like, they could have done so many things to actually like create that sense of community that they have. And what's so
But that
confusing is they've
that
done
only
this before, man.
that only works so well if you have a community that's already willing to engage on that level. You need like literally for the freaking slow brain, like literal 2 IQ cannot operate anything, teach them a game. And that's from like UI changes. That's from descriptions. That's from like the actual flow state of the game and how you interact with it on a day-to-day basis. How do I know if I, where every shop in the game is right from the get-go, and that I'm supposed to do my entire build around these shops and all these like little intricate things, or how there are tutorials in the game.
I remember playing them,
but they're like the
They're
Dota
not
ones.
great.
They're not super deep.
And the game is way too deep.
And they're not going to teach you synergy. They're not going to tell you like all the stuff. They just tell you that this character is moderately hard, which is whatever, but that only takes you so far. You need to take it from the ground level, make it like an Overwatch, and just figure out how to introduce it.
I also feel like maybe you guys are kind of like overblowing this a bit, because like me personally, fucking sunk into this couch.
Yeah.
That's for one.
We'll be wrapping up in a second.
I think that like when you're asking him, well, why do you stop? I kind of stopped for a similar reason. Like, it is a game. Like, it's the same reason. Like, I will never play Dota by myself. I will never play League of Legends by myself. I just think that MOBAs and MOBA adjacent games just aren't conducive to playing by yourself, where a first person shooter is. And I think that's just always going to be the case. But more than anything, it's the same reason I stopped playing Path of Exile 2. I'm like, okay, I got my fill of this game. I'm excited. I'm not going to keep playing it because this game is going to be vastly different when it comes out. I don't want to burn myself out of this game. That is not going to be like Counter-Strike. You can burn yourself out of the game and know that you're going to be back there.
There's also just not as much.
Yeah, there's not a lot to do. There's, new heroes are coming out. I'm like, you know what? When this game fully releases, I'm going to go full hog, because like, I don't think that there's no way that I think about playing the game all the time, but I'm like, it's too much to like, get people back into it, and me solo queue. I don't want to have like a really, really bad experience solo queuing.
It's like CS in like 2013 before like kind of skins came out and stuff. It's like, yeah, it was a deep game. You would enjoy the game. There's stuff to play in the game, but that's like as far as it kind of went. And you really need to make a good game loop for people to enjoy for a long period of time, that want to come back to it.
And the game loop has to be approachable. Like, it's right. Like, it's a very, very deep, dense game loop. It's hard, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love the idea that Valve are making hard games.
Legitimately, I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah,
and I still do. Like, I can go back and enjoy this game, but I think about this new Zoomer like Gen Alpha audience who are going to be coming into this, and I'm like, they don't even know how to read half the time. Like, why are you expecting that they're just going to read all these tooltips and all these descriptions and stuff like that?
And that's why I was saying at the beginning that like, I don't think they're that stupid. I don't think Valve and the people that are making that are delusional, and I don't think that they believe that this game is supposed to be the next greatest thing. I think that they want to develop a dedicated audience who's going to continue to buy the battle passes, the compendiums, whatever, and put money into the game. I don't think that there's ever an intention to make a game this dense and be like, yeah, it's going to be the next big thing.
I mean, Dota did it, and like,
I don't think you could release Dota today and it would do the same thing. I don't think so.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
I will say Dota was doing it before Valve bought it. It's actually one of the reasons they bought it, right?
Mhm.
Like, literally the story is, and Gaben said this, it came from his mouth. I saw it in an interview he did years ago where he was like, the Valve devs were playing
it, yeah.
Warcraft, like Dota All-Stars. They just reached out to IceFrog and they were like, do you want to just make this here? Like,
I think that's the core thing of this, is that Valve made a game that they themselves would want to play.
It's also a very original genre. I
Yes.
said this about Deadlock when I first played it. I was like, say what you will about the game or about any, like, it. Valorant is cool. I'm not shitting on Valorant, but like, it is a Counter-Strike clone.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
a
a Counter-Strike
derivative
clone.
of the-
And like CS2 is just a Counter-Strike CSGO update, right? Like it's Marvel Rivals is third-person Overwatch. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
But Deadlock was really this thing where I played it. I tried to get my head around it. And I was like, this is
a new type
a
of
new
game.
type of game.
Yeah.
This is a novel thing. No one has done this. This
Yeah.
is not just a rinse and repeat. We made Marvel Rivals. Like, no, this is very different.
The closest thing is Smite, and that's a stretch.
It is a
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah, yeah,
Even
and
that
that is the
a stretch.
closest
It is the
game.
closest thing, and it's a stretch. And I just feel like they needed to do, and I stand by this. They needed to do a better job when they unveiled a whole new game
Mhm.
to the world. They needed to do a better job of being like, hey, by the way, you've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel weird. This is the thing that's going to feel weird. This is the thing that's going to feel familiar. Let's
Yeah.
help you get into this. Instead, they just released these invite codes. People played it, either bounced off of it or didn't bounce off of it, and then eventually fell off. And then a year from now, they're going to release it, and everyone's going to have seen everything before, and it's just not going to be as exciting.
One last thing, and I will actually concede to your point there now that I'm kind of understanding it more. Like, it was like when they announced CS2 finally, and they're like immediately 3-4 videos explaining what our
Yes,
our vision and mission is.
exactly.
It could be fucking bullshit. We
Yeah.
could be lying through our teeth right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
guys.
this is our idea. This is what we
What
want
you
to do.
see is what you get.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. Here are the smoke grenades.
Yep.
That's the big thing that we need you guys to understand.
Yes.
Is the smoke grenades.
Yes.
Second thing you need to understand is look at the lighting.
Yes.
This game is brighter.
Pretty
It's
lights.
gonna look different,
Yes.
and that's it. And then the third thing when they're like, "Hey guys, you guys are gonna get all these community that
Yeah.
and the
Skins. That was a
skins."
big one.
yeah.
No, but you're right. Like I
Yeah.
forgot about those videos. Thanks for reminding me. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Like
They
where
needed to
was
do
that for
Where
this?
was that for Deadlock? For them being like,
And you know why? I just literally, and I keep going back to this whenever someone brings it up. I'm like, there are literal some characters that don't have animations.
Yes.
It was
it's a
so
build.
far from being even close. And I know it's a good thing to get people playing your game,
It's
but there's a
not,
point where
man.
it's not an. That's
Yes.
not. You just need to keep making it.
Either way, we've definitely gone over time. I did. I will reiterate that. Again, the response to this show has been awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, it's great.
Seriously, like we love you guys that you're watching this. We love the fact that you really have responded well to us. I know we had some some takes that you guys did respond to. I know some people got mad about my Fortnite opinion. I get it. You know, it's fair enough. Even the shorts you guys have been really good too. You guys are super happy that we are making a podcast. We will be doing all of these weekly. Someone did actually say seeing all three of you in the same room talking to each other feels weird. The SCPs have breached containment. That's some lore. That's some.
What if
some
you can
deep
get like
lore.
if there's like a generator to find out which one you are?
yeah.
Probably this is probably
We'll
like
figure
probably
it
a
out.
BuzzFeed.
Someone said Guns
Quiz.
was sick, but I will die on my grave, saying S4 League was light years ahead of his time or of its time.
There's probably so many games you can go.
Yeah,
and-
there's
dude.
a lot. There's a lot. But either way, it has been amazing. The response from you guys has been honestly incredible. Leave some more comments if you guys got any response to them. We'll read them out on the show. We'll have a fun time with that. I know this is a bit new for you guys. It's new for us as well. So we're still trying to make all of this work. Any final words, boys, Devin, before you head off to the major?
Let's watch some good CS. Hopefully the storylines pan out. Hopefully the big teams do make it, as fun as it is to see a lot of these,
Yep.
these storylines. At the end of the day, you need the big hitters to show up.
Yep.
To give us the most exciting storylines possible.
If Nico loses now, that means he can't lose in the major final.
Okay.
That is true.
Dimitri, any last words?
Those were my last.
Okay,
words.
those are your last words. Either way, we appreciate you all. We'll be back next week. We're going to have Bernard step in for Devin as he goes to the major. Of course, leave a comment, and we'll respond to it. Subscribe to the channel. Love you. Have a good one.